Hey, talking live again today so we can learn more about the women joining us next Friday, coming up this next Friday on February 14th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have Audacity 2025, our third annual virtual Women's Empowerment Conference. So we are super excited to be back again this year. This was, we thought was going to be a one-time thing, and we got such a great response and great reception from the women involved that we are doing it again. And it looks like I'm not going to be able to go live on Insta, which is a bummer. It's just not cooperating, but that's all right. If you're here, that's great. And I am going to share a little bit. We may have someone join us, maybe not. We'll see what happens. But just wanted to talk to you about a few of the things that we really promote at the summit. So one of our themes is the art of being audacious. So kind of what that means is that, there are a lot of women out there that are just kind of one bold move away from stepping into really where they want to be, whether it's in a project, something in their life, something that feels hard and they're feeling some resistance around it, not really sure where to go. And they likely don't have a lot of support in their immediate circle of people to help support that. And we try to fill that gap at Audacity. So we are a niche media women's company. And what we do is we help women sort of birth their creative projects. We have incubators. We hold events like Audacity 2025, and we network with a lot of women who are doing bold and inspiring things. That's kind of our jam. So really the theme is about, stop playing small, start showing up fully, don't be afraid, even on social media, even going live like I'm doing right now. I don't really want to be doing this, if I'm being truthful. Don't love going live. I just don't love it, but I do it. I do it every day. I show up every day here at noon so I can spread this message, even though it feels hard and feels uncomfortable. And that's what this is about, is that, my vision is that we have something really special that we're doing. And I know in order to be able to get people to see what we're doing, I need to show up for it. So that's the space that we hold for women. If you have something that you believe that other women should see and be a part of and be inspired by, we invite you to join us. We invite you to come to the summit. Check out the amazing speakers and contributors and artists that we have as part of our community, so you can sort of figure out, who is it that I resonate with? How can I find someone that I can align my vision with and that will give me the confidence to be bold and start showing up for the things that really matter for me. So we have all kinds of women as part of our community. We have coaches, consultants, creatives, women in the spiritual realm, artists, podcast hosts, women that are doing things across a lot of different disciplines. So it is not a kind of just one type of woman, nor is this not like a corporate kind of, climb the corporate ladder kind of thing, unless that's what you want, which is perfectly fine, but that's not what we're about. It's really more for women who have these projects, creative ideas, things they want to birth into the world, usually using some kind of digital medium in order to do so, that we help support that. So we will have some live sessions, sort of like roundtables, interviews, multiple ways that you can connect with women, that you can learn more about what they're doing, and you can find other visionary women to align with. So who is this for? Let's talk about this real quick. So who is this for? So if you're a visionary with ideas, but you're struggling to turn them into something powerful, something marketable, some kind of presence, it's for you. If you want to build authority, you want to get noticed, but you don't want to spend hours grinding away on social media, this is definitely the event for you. If you are someone who identifies as a perfectionist and you're always afraid to take the next step and you're paralyzed by the what ifs, this is definitely for you, because we empower and inspire women to take bold action, to take audacious action, to create kind of a safety net and a container for them. In terms of our incubators, one of the things that we're really good at as far as the media end of our efforts is that, say you're a woman and in your social circle, you don't have a lot of other women doing what you do, right? It feels kind of a lonely sort of endeavor. and you're kind of on social media, you don't really want to be there, you don't want to be constantly posting, you just want to work on your dream. So like if you're an artist, whatever it is, you have some sort of project, you want to spend your time on your project, right? You don't want to spend time, oh my God, I have to post here, I have to do this, I have to somehow get noticed, I have to become an authority in my field. How do I do that? It gets really hard. It gets really hard because you have to do both. You have to create your body of work and figure out how to put yourself out there in the world. And oftentimes what we continue to find is that it's hard for everybody, but it's hard to hold space for both of those things. And what we try to do is take some of the load off of you. So what we have is a distribution network, we have a streaming channel, we have multiple social media accounts. So anything that you create, once you're part of our circle, we will put it out across our channels. We will put it out on our streaming network. We will find ways to amplify your message, to establish you really as an authority in your field. And we've already done that. Just case in point, one of our artists, Chiroa, she's joined me on a couple of the other lives, and she'll be conducting a roundtable. So she right now, I'll give you a little backstory on her. So she joined us last year. She didn't know us. She joined us last year for the summit, was super inspired, connected with all these women, had this vision. So she's an AI artist and has a strong affinity for personal growth and development, and was trying to find a way to marry those two things. So it was a really interesting project. Oh, looks like someone is here. Let's see. Oh, it's Karen. All right. I'm going to let Karen in. Hi, Karen.
Hi, Stephanie.
Oh, hold on. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm just finishing talking about Chiroa, and then I'll introduce you. So hang in here with me. Thanks for joining. So Chiroa was so inspired by this. She's like, I'm going to create my own project. And what she did was created an AI art therapy challenge where she marries AI art and art therapy. So now she's known as the mother of AI art therapy. I mean, someone had to have that title, right? So why not have it be you? If you're someone that's doing breakthroughs in an industry, we're going to help you kind of find that, tease that out, crystallize what your message is, crystallize what your special sauce is, what you bring to the table, and figure out a way to make you the authority. We also have another example of sort of the way we go about doing that. We have Lucky Star, whom we have positioned as an expert in AI cultural bias. So that's what she does. And she was explaining to us what she does, but didn't really have a title or a label for it. And sometimes it's hard. I use, all the time, you can't see your hand when it's in front of your face. So we sort of serve as that mirror where you can kind of like dump everything you're working on and say, these are all the things I'm doing. I can't quite figure out how to make myself an authority. I know that I am, I know that I have it, but I can't quite put my finger on it. And we are able to sort of get in there and go through all the different aspects of what it is that you're working on and find that really marketable nugget a way that you can present yourself to the world and that people will remember you. So people will remember, oh, wow, she's that expert in AI cultural bias, as opposed to just another person that's talking about AI, because they're everywhere. And in Chiroa's case, the mother of AI art therapy, as opposed to just another person talking about AI art. And here we go in the case of Karen. Karen is a women's health expert, but there are lots of women health experts. So what is it that makes Karen special? And I will let you talk about a little bit about what makes you special, because you are special and different from, your average women's health coach.
Thank you so much, Stephanie, for introducing me in that way. So yeah, I don't know
pressure.
If I'm special. yeah. Now I'm really under pressure. So
no, not at all. We're just chatting.
I think we are all special. And I started with nutrition. I did studies in nutrition. I'm a nutritionist in traditional medicine, Chinese medicine, and I'm also a health coach. And I think what makes me special is that I followed this path my way over 10 years ago, and I discovered that it's not only about nutrition, how to choose your your food and your stuff, how you do it. It's also about your courage, how you do that, really the courage to step into on a new way. And then the second step is the boldness. I love these two words in English because in German I'm native Swiss. We don't have this differentiation. So really, I want to talk in next week, the 14th of February, about courage and boldness. I think it's more in health coaching and in nutritionists. It's always about nutrition. It's about hard facts, but I think the main keys are the soft facts, and that I want to discover with the audience. What do you need really to step into a new a new being, to really be your best self, how we say so often. It's not only a nutrition list. It's really to be courageous, to say, okay, what do I need? And that's it's really a lot of soft skill, a lot of psychology.
Mhm.
And the last few years, I really discovered that working in these fields, also with inner child, working with stress release therapy, this is something which really helped me and helps my clients in personal health coaching. And suddenly, like you said, I'm a women specialist. I think my field is mostly in menopausal. I work with menopausal women. So this is really the field I want to sneak in, and I want to show the audience, okay, where can you really put your focus on?
And I know a couple of things that you have that's special is that you really, I like that you focus on the word vitality, because I think oftentimes women health coaches, they position themselves just sort of in the health aspect, and okay, and then it just becomes like, am I healthy or not healthy? Where vitality just is a whole new dimension of health, where it is, superior health, really. It's not just, oh, I'm healthy. I don't have to go to the doctor a lot. I don't get sick a lot. There's a big difference between being healthy and being vital. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So, like you said, I think that's a big thing. And in Chinese medicine, for example, we say, okay, we go to the doctor, Chinese doctor, to stay healthy.
Mm.
Nowadays, it's we go to the doctor when we're sick, or we think we're sick, or
Mhm.
we go to just general, how do you call that, examinations,
Mhm. Mhm.
then after a few years they tell you, oh, you got sick. No, but on this way you didn't have a clue. And I think this is also something which I'm really, that's my mission, to show people, or want to show all of you, hey, it's not about waiting and doing all these general, how do you call that, these health examinations,
Mhm.
like colon examinations or breast cancer, um,
The
uh,
screenings and mammograms.
yeah, mammogram stuff. No, it's about really your vitality, to listening to yourself, and come back and listen to the body. Hey, what do I need now? And
Mm.
I know that we all have these abilities to listen to our body, and our body is gonna to respond. It's just that we um yeah, well, before I got sick, I got diagnosed with breast cancer 12 years ago. And before, I was really hassling all day long. I was, yeah, like a hamster in a wheel,
Mhm.
and I didn't listen. I was just running, running, running. And yeah, and then I learned how to listen to my body and to really get vital. And like you said, it's not only about health, it's not only about nutrition or physical activity. It's also about yeah, what medication do I take when I have a flu or something like that. So going back to the nature, and also cosmetics. When I clean with stuff, I don't clean anymore with really hard stuff. I really use essential oils or um, um, vinegar, stuff like that. So I think this is, yeah, I think this is really the big word of vitality. Really, to be vital, to be um, um, to know, to be aware. Where do I have the different point to really to stay vital and to stay healthy.
Yeah. And that's a huge departure. So, certainly here in the United States on how we approach healthcare, which is really about, going when you're sick or screening to make sure you don't have problems. And it's very reactive, instead of a proactive process. So, for women attending the summit, what can we expect from your talk? What kinds of things are you going to be talking about?
Yes, I want to talk about your courage and your boldness. I want to talk about, okay, what brings you when you have a name, when you want to do something, that's really courageous often,
Mm,
so what does it take, it really to take the next step, the first step, this is
mhm,
something we often do, and we try hard, and then there is a moment where we lose passion, or we lose interest, or we don't know anymore, okay, how can we follow, or there are other people, telling us, oh, do it this way or that way. So
mhm,
I want to show the next step. Okay, what does it mean to really stay in your boldness, to really um, live your own rhythm. That's
mhm,
also a lot what I'm talking about, to feel your own rhythm, to live your own rhythm without looking right or left. um, yeah, to learn about your needs and your body,
mhm,
and yeah, what you really want. And I think the the menopausal transition time is a great time for that. It starts already with about 40, or
mhm.
even before 40, because this is transition time, and there is a time where we really can rethink our life, basically.
I love
And
that. Yeah.
yeah, and that I want to talk about that, really to see, hey, what can I do, and am I allowed really to go my own path, even if I have family and children and whatever, and I have a work and I have a job that had nothing to do with it, but I can yeah, really proclaim for my needs. And I think this is very important these
Mhm,
days, that we come back to us, that we really know what we want to do, because health is really a big issue these days. And yeah, we want to live long, but not long, and being sick. We want to live
right,
long and
right. And I
healthy.
think, yeah, it's especially important for women because, we do tend to put ourselves last. We do tend to operate in caretaker roles. We do tend to say, okay, well, whatever's left over, I get, which oftentimes is nothing. There's no time left over to focus on yourself. So I think a lot of us become very detached from our health, from our vitality, from our well-being, which is why I think that's probably why, and again, I'm just speaking for here in the United States, there's a huge uptick in a lot of companies that are doing like healthcare screenings and special screenings that your doctor wouldn't offer. And there's people, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it sort of just shows where people are at, or women are at mentally, where they're spending this money out of pocket to pay for all these exams and tests, because I think they know that they're not getting the best care that they can that they can get in the Western medical system. So they're going to these companies that are claiming all that, we'll do the scan, and again, I'm not talking about whether or not they're actually valid, I'm sure they are, but different scans and different tests and different things to identify these biomarkers or what have you, where certainly from your perspective and from a traditional Chinese medicine perspective, which is what you specialize in, you know, my understanding is that's not necessarily the way to go. That if you're listening to your body, right, and you know what your body needs, if you're on the right track. Is that fairly accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's great that you have a screening, and okay, where are you situated, and for sure, when you're younger, you do these screenings, and that's great, and yeah, what's going on. But in Chinese medicine, certainly it's about staying healthy. And I work a lot with women in one-to-one coaching, but I do also webinars or speeches. Um, about yeah, their own rhythm also in companies, because I think what companies, and there are some, the bigger companies starting really to take care of
Mhm.
women, especially, really to talk about their cycle, their rhythm, because we have a cycle, and we can't do the go 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 all month long or all year long. So we have nature, we have also
Mhm.
the seasons. And this is something, I think, instead of doing all these tests and screenings, they could teach about seasonal behavior and seasonal habits, and what's important, if this is nutrition, or if this is like stress release techniques, which are really important also in winter, to go through a good
Mhm.
spring and summer. It always, that's like the cycle, the women's cycle. No? You have 1 month, and the same you have with the year. And I think this would be great if more and more companies would do that, and also women come back to this to this habit, to this
Yeah, I
program.
think that there's definitely, a push for women to ignore those signs, to push through, to not honor their cycle, to not honor, wherever they are. It's that, no, it's this go, go, go. You don't have, rest is sort of, people will say things like self-care and then use that as oftentimes just an excuse to spend money. Like, oh, self-care, so I need to go pay money to get my nails done, where that's viewed as self-care, which, that it's sort of funny the way we sort of get it twisted. It's about going out and outsourcing and spending money. It's about, right, more coming inward and being able to tune into what your body needs. Is that fair to say?
Right. And there was a, what is this, a professor in brain
Mm-hmm.
physiology. He said once, we are, especially women, now we're taking care of the family, of the children. We have a job, we have a really responsible job, and then instead of going home and just relax and sit on the sofa maybe for an hour and doing nothing, or just, now we hurry to the yoga, and then we do yoga, ashtanga yoga, whatever. So our body is always in a
Mm-hmm.
constant run. And certainly something, like you said, I mean, I love to do my nails. I don't do them since my son is born, about 17 years, but anyway. But I mean, I love these things. But yeah, it's always, it's consumed, no? It's the consumer behavior. We get that
Right.
from social media and from and whatever. But nobody is telling us until we, hey, turn it off and just sit in a corner and drink a
Mm-hmm.
tea.
Mm-hmm.
No? And this is, yeah, this is a pity. I mean, more and more people are aware of the situations, and they know, okay, it's can't go this way anymore any longer. But still, there are too many who don't know the way, and are not, they're not able, they're not brave enough, because they have not the possibilities. And I think, and for them, we are here. I want to really wake women up and tell them, hey, it's not that difficult, to do the step. And also, it's not something I do it and then it's done. It's really, it's a way, it's a lifelong way,
Now,
I think. A
a
lifelong
lifelong, I'm sorry, what, path? Yeah.
path, yeah.
Um, so, you made me think of something. So I would imagine, what we don't want, right, is for women to come to this conclusion that this is when what they need to be doing with themselves and their health when they have a health scare. You want to be proactive, not like, oh, I'm going to change my life. Because this thing happened. We want women to start doing it before something happens. Now, for you, I'm
Right.
just curious, getting a little bit personal, if you don't mind. For you, what was that like? So, what brought you to this path? Was it, were you already on this idea of, vitality and seasonality in health before your diagnosis, or was it your experience with that then brought you to this different way of looking at things? What was that like?
Mhm. Mhm. So in my 20s, I was on that path, because I did some movement, physiotherapist studies, and yeah, sports
Mm-hmm.
technologies and stuff. So I was in this, and I did a lot of, we had psychology, we had nutrition and stuff like that. So I was kind of this path. But then I went into medtech company, huge companies, and I was in this corporate world, and I forgot about that. So I was really, climbing the
Mm-hmm.
ladder, and I was traveling a lot. I had a young son. He was, when I started work again, he was 1. So my husband, he stayed home more. But I was really on my run, and I was traveling a lot. And and then I totally forgot. I mean, I I considered myself healthy, because I said, okay, I eat a lot of salad, I eat, I don't know. I thought I'm healthy. I eat not a lot of sweets. I was not
Mhm.
overweight. I did a lot of sports. I did marathons and half
Wow.
marathons. Um, and when I got diagnosed, then I realized, not in an instant, but with working, in Chinese medicine, and that's shortly before I got diagnosed, I was introduced to
Mhm.
TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, few years before, and then I really realized that doing hard sports and eating salad and stuff like that, that's not considered healthy. It depends how you do it, and the big driver still for illnesses is stress. And I was really very stressed. No? I was nervous, I was
Mhm.
aggressive, I was sometimes in tears. And yeah, it's now a path of 12 years
Mhm.
almost where I'm on, and I'm still learning every day. And I sometimes, somebody tells me, okay, you have to go back to start. No, not to start, but you know what I mean. So I, yeah, sometimes you do the same mistakes again, or you realize, hey, now you're in a wheel again. But the great thing is, what I learned is, you know it's not about failure. We always failed, and that's great, because with failure we learn a lot. I
Mhm.
learned a lot. It's about having the tools to get out of
Mhm.
these
Mhm.
holes, or these things, and that's what I really learned. I had great teachers, and I learned a lot of techniques. I have a lot of exercises, and this is something really gets me out. I realize quite fast nowadays, okay, hey, now you're really in a stress mode, or you're doing something which is not good for you, and my body gives me the
Mhm.
signs, and I hear them. And this is something, but I'm not born with that, because I'm born in a very conservative family, into a conservative family. And we had the classical
Mhm.
diet. I mean, in Switzerland, I ate, yeah, salad was considered very healthy, and we had just a
Mhm.
balanced diet. But still, it was, yeah, we had a lot of, you know not stress, but things you have to do. Now I was teach, okay, as a woman you have to do stuff like that. And I always try to, to really crash
Mhm.
these borders, but still I behaved very nice. I wanted to be a nice girl and a nice woman, and I want to
Yep.
please, and that's certainly something I learned, not to please
Yeah,
anymore.
I love that. And I think that is something that women are now starting to see, the toll that that takes on the body, now that, we're hearing more about work by like Gabor Mate, like the body keeps the score, and that, good girl conditioning and how detrimental it is to women, and that we end, in a war with our own bodies, and then thinking, and I think also you brought up an interesting point about the seasonality, and that, you make it, sound so flowy, where we are sort of conditioned to believe it's like black or white, good or bad. This is good to eat. This is bad to eat. This is good exercise. This is bad exercise. As opposed to, at this time, you should be doing more of this and less of that. And then I think what happens is women get stuck. We get locked in this mindset of like, I'm being bad. I ate bad things, or I did not exercise the right way. And then we get negative, and then you sort of you get stuck and you can't find a way out. Whereas I feel like your approach really helps, that flow of, it's not a matter of black and white thinking. There is good things and bad things, and times that you should be doing things and times that you shouldn't. But really, the more important thing is keeping your stress levels low, honoring what your body's telling you, which actually brings me to a question maybe you can answer is, or maybe you will be answering at the summit. If you're a woman out there who is new to all of this, and the whole idea of like listening to your body doesn't even make sense. Like, I don't know how to listen to my body, because a lot of us are very disembodied. We're not in touch with ourselves at all and the sensations that we have. What's something, can you give some kind of a quick tip or something you can recommend, or talk a little bit about, maybe if you're going to be talking about that at the summit, about how to start that process.
Yeah, yeah. I gonna talk about that. Maybe yeah. One point is because it's easy to say, oh, listen to your body, and like you said, absolutely. How should I listen? He's not
Right.
talking to me, and this is something, when we talk about breathing, for example,
Mhm.
breath work, just box breathing. You
Mhm.
breathe in and you hold your breath, and you breathe out and you hold your breath, and you do that for about 10 times. This is something, for example, that's a tool whi- which you can use just to
Mm.
start, um, to feel your body, because you feel, you inhale, you feel holding your breath, because in that moment you really feel your body. You feel your exhale, and these are small things, small tools. And I want to encourage women, to really start with
Mm.
baby steps. Now we're not talking about, hey, now you're gonna change your life, and your husband or your partner won't recognize
Mhm.
you anymore. It's really about soft skills, really to, yeah, maybe at the beginning nobody is gonna feel or see it. Also, it's really about
Mm.
myself, how to do it. And breathing, or going out, for example, just with nothing in the ears, no hand, no mobile phone, no earplugs, just going out, whether in the nature or just around the house, and just feeling your steps, or minding your steps. You really, you see, okay, how do you walk, just that's
Mhm.
mindfulness. This is something where you
I
can
love that.
start with.
Thank you. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I thank you for joining me. I'll do a quick little recap for anyone that's coming in late, and then we'll wrap up. Um, I'm here talking with Karen Aragoni, a women's vitality expert, one of our speakers at Audacity 2025, happening next Friday, the 14th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time. If you want to grab a ticket, you can get one at audacityhq.com, and you'll get a chance to hear Karen as well as all of the other amazing, inspiring women that we have in our lineup. So anything else before we go?
I'm thrilled to be with you, and yeah,
Awesome.
see you all there. Thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much.